to be successful in dating is the ability to kind of understand people better, actually.
Successful people know that mistakes make them stronger. This is a huge aspect of successful people. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and be able to self-critique yourself.
You need to visualize that success as well. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you need to be visualizing all day. Right?
Sitting at your desk and visualizing. If you want to do that, go get it.
Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Karma Couch with myself, Iain Myles, and with the lovely Annabella Rose.
Hello.
So guys, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the habits of successful people, what makes people successful, and the kind of like mindsets and beliefs behind that.
Because we want everyone that watches this to be successful.
Exactly.
So hopefully this video will enlighten you to the skills and techniques to ensure that you yourself are successful. Now, before we start, you do know what to do. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, because we're going to have so much stuff coming your way that's really going to help you become the very best version of yourself. So then, tell me, successful traits. Tell me all about it.
What makes, I mean, look, success, there's different types of success. You know, there are different definitions of what success is. You know, is it personal success? Is it based on
business success, social success?
Social success, you know, based on, I don't know, how many people you've got with or how much money you have, you know, different types of success. But if we start by talking about what makes a successful dater, someone successful in the dating world.
That's our wheelhouse.
Exactly,
we definitely
that's
know
where we
how
roll.
to make that happen.
Yes.
Okay, so a successful dater. Is that to you people who can date numerous people? Is it someone that can create good relationships? What is a successful dater?
Yeah, you need to have some sort of
benchmark.
Benchmark, exactly. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, but yeah, you need to have a benchmark, something to benchmark you. And there are, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think, look, the bottom line is, you know, you wanna feel confident about yourself, and you wanna feel happy and fulfilled, you know, in what you're doing. Truly, you know, you truly want to feel that, right? And it's not something, you know, you're not gonna lie to yourself and think, okay, look, I'm happy being, you know, I'm happy being alone. Exactly, you know, I'm happy being alone. I'm happy being celibate. You know, I mean, ask yourself, you know, are you truly happy? But the vast majority, I mean, human beings we're sociable animals, right? And, you know, relationships, human interactions are actually a close part of our lives, and something that, you know, we were
strive to attain.
We're born with, and you know, so yeah. Look, I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of being single or being in a relationship, but without a doubt, yeah, you know, we were designed to
communicate, be social, have a group around us.
Yeah, and
that is our nature, isn't it?
Exactly, and in that sense, you know, you need to ask yourself, you know, how have you been in a relationship, or you know, are you with the person that you want to be with, or like, you know, what do you want to, you know, what do you want to achieve?
I think that is a good point. It's what you want to achieve. I believe across the board, your version of success is not the same version as my success.
Yeah.
I don't perceive it in the same way. So I think the term successful is you being truly happy with what you've achieved. That is what success should be. And that benchmark will change and differentiate per person. So the first thing to think of when trying to be a successful dater is what you want out of your personal relationships. If you want to be a player and try and sleep with as many people as possible, and you have a certain target that you want to reach, I'm not judging, I don't do that.
Magic number
that you want to achieve, and that to you is a benchmark of your sexual success, and if that's something you want to achieve, then that is your benchmark. If you are the person that wants to successfully find somebody to spend the rest of your life with, then that is your version of successfully dating. But what it takes is knowing what you want and actively going to get it.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, success should not be defined by anybody else. This is a big thing that people stumble upon in all aspects of life. It is not your version that I'm trying to achieve. Your version of life and your version of dating and your success is not what I am trying to achieve. Now, a lot of people fall into the hole of, you've got that, so I want it. That looks really good, so I want it. And actually, it's not based on what you perceive as success as yourself. You're just copying someone else's life. Now, by all means, if you see something and you're like, oh, that's really cool, I'm going to strive to get that. Oh, but then this is really cool, and you're creating your own version of it. You can find influence in the way that other people, what they are achieving, and if you want a slice of the pie, as you'd probably say. But don't try and recreate your success and benchmark it by someone else's life, because everybody has gone through different experiences, they've walked a different road to you, and you'll never find somebody who's walked an identical road. So their life goals and their vision of success will be very different. So you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah, I think in the dating world, to be successful, what does it mean to be successful in dating? Well, to be successful in dating is the ability to kind of understand people better, actually. You're developing your understanding and your communication and your understanding, because ultimately, when you're on a date with someone or when you approach someone, from cold, then your success is going to be determined by how do you understand what is going on, and when you understand what's going on, you will know what to say. Okay, but then and the more you understand about the person, about that situation, the better you'll be able to communicate yourself. So basically, what it really means is you're developing a higher understanding of the opposite sex, let's say. Okay, and you're developing that, and that continues to develop. We're always learning.
Exactly what your benchmark of success was 5 years ago is not necessarily the benchmark that you have now for success. You are constantly growing and constantly trying to achieve, but to be on top of your game, whether it's in dating, whether it's in any other platform, any other aspect of life, I think it's down to education and knowledge.
Yeah.
If you want to be the most successful scientist, that's a very broad term, I know there's lots of different sciences. Let's say you want to be the most successful biologist studying a specific plant in the world. You have to learn, you have to acknowledge, you have to keep striving, and you have to have determination. Now that, even though when it comes to something like a physical, with like a field of work or job role that you have that's very materialistic, you can put it, this is success because you have a job you want to strive for, and it's very easy to differentiate what success is, because it's more of a material thing, or more of a statement, a name for yourself. It has more of an obvious accomplishment, right? Dating is very different. There isn't a, when I'm gone out with Patricia Reynolds, then I shall be the most successful dater in the world. Like, it's not like that. It is very sort of dependable, but it is about your knowledge and understanding. For example, I will pull this out of what we teach people and clients. So, you don't have a 100% success rate of picking up women, the cold approach. But he knows that and is fully aware that is part and parcel. I think when you're unsuccessful, that would phase you, and you wouldn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be realistic. And you touch on what you say is true, because when you develop an understanding of the world, you're not going to shoot yourself for not getting 100% success. You're not from cold approaching women, because
to think it needs to be 100% or nothing, and then that ruins your success, is a really stupid way to look at it. Successful people know that mistakes make them stronger.
Yeah.
Unsuccessful people fall at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
And that is across the board in everything. That is a trait that successful people have. When they falter, when they fail, which they always do, they learn how to stand back up on their feet and move forward with more force, avoiding the problems that they had before, and they edge forward and find the next barrier that they come across. But they don't get knocked down and stay down. They get back up and they find their way over it. And that is what successful people have as a mentality.
Yeah.
And so when you apply that to dating and the pickup game, if you get rejected by a person, that doesn't damage your confidence. That doesn't make you lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. A successful person and a successful dater will be like, no worries, we're going to deviate. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try and readdress. Evolution and determination to constantly better yourself is a trait that all successful people have.
Yeah, and the annoying thing is that the stuff where you get rejected, rejection is never talked about in the media. And even going back to school, when we're kids, we're always learning about, everything is perfect. Like we imagine like the world is like this utopia where.
You run a leg and spoon race, but you didn't win. I'm going to give you a prize for taking part.
Exactly.
That's not life.
Yeah. Well, in reality, like there's nothing wrong actually with being rejected.
There's nothing wrong with losing.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with losing because it's
nothing wrong with it.
You might lose a race, but you've imagine what you've learned and imagine what you can achieve going forward. And it's an opportunity, for you to change and to improve yourself. And to think of. What you're going to achieve. And
successful people have that mentality, and they will apply that across the board. If, for example, an athlete came, didn't place their first race, or they didn't get the medal that they were looking for, they don't just go, well, it's not the career for me, I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
They go, right. And they buckle down and they re-examine their technique, their form, every sort of physical element that they can work on, and they dedicate their mind to being better. And that failure spurs them on. It lights a fire under their behind, and it pushes them in the direction that they want to go to be more successful. And that is what it takes.
Yeah. It's ultimately it's that perseverance, and actually, that perseverance. That is in itself is an important kind of element that actually determines your success, say in dating, because the more actually you can persevere in carrying on approaching or going on to dates, that actually also is a benchmark to your success.
The dating world is tough. That's why people like us exist, because people need a little bit of help and guidance, because it's like a minefield. And so many people that I know. And I will actually draw the point, we've mentioned this before, specifically my friends that use online dating struggle the most with being able to get back in the game, back on the horse. Because after the first dopamine hits of the first 5 people that have liked you, then it's the monotonous sort of people who are disposable. And having that put upon you can really shatter your success in the dating world. But the people are like, no, not going to faze me, gonna do that. You know what, I'm going to get off the apps, I'm going to go out, I'm going to meet people in person. That determination to find someone, because they want to find someone, it's also quite attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
I will draw to the point that element, successful people are attractive because they own that. I mean, we've done another Karma Couch on this subject about money, and people are like, well, girls just want guys with big bank accounts. Have you ever sat back and thought, how have they achieved that bank account?
Yeah.
Because they haven't been, some of them have been handed that money through family, but a lot of them have taken a thought, taken a concept, built a business, pushed through it, and made something of themselves.
Yeah.
So maybe they do have a big bank account, but actually maybe that woman finds them attractive because of how successful and that determination that they have had.
Yeah.
Because that determination, it's hot.
It's based on other qualities, like you said. Like it's based on not just the money, but his perseverance, his open-mindedness as well. To be successful, there will be an element of being open-minded, because you're not content with the status quo. Like you believe that your awareness believes that there's something more. And there's something more out there, and you're open to improving, and you're open to suggestions from other people. You're open to training. And it's being taken out and learning from people who have a competence in a certain area, be it dating, be it business. So and that's another thing that I want to touch on in that I would always recommend to seek out those who already experienced and are kind of professionals in that field, but you don't need to reinvent the wheel when it's already been created. So by all means seek out, dating coaches if you want to improve your dating and challenge yourself. Why do you want to subject yourself to just the same thing, the same sort of lifestyle,
An acceptance of change is another trait of successful people. Again, not just in dating, but across the board. If you are willing, if you are currently watching this video and you think all of your beliefs and everything that you know is 100% true and you are not wrong, you're not going to be successful. Because you have those shutters on and you've got those blinkers on that you can't see anything else. And whether I've mentioned it in a different video, I believe that the world would be a much better place if people just thought they were like open to being 5% wrong, 10% wrong, not even that, 1% wrong. If you have that open-mindedness and you have the ability to adapt and change, you will be more successful because other people are getting it right.
Exactly, yeah.
It's no problem with you getting it wrong or you getting aspects of things right. It's about learning and growing and evolving and adapting to your layouts and your surroundings. Now, let's say, for example, let me compare Emre's pickup technique to Iain's pickup technique. It's different. Neither of them are wrong because they work for the individual party, but you will learn off each other, you'll see things that work. If both of them thought that they're the best pickup artist ever and that's it, you'd never grow and you'd never be aiming and you wouldn't be increasing your skills. But the two of them bounce off each other when there's new things that come out, or if they face a new challenge, they'll bounce, they'll learn, and they're open. And they're open-minded to the other person, maybe getting something a little bit more right than they do, and they grow and they learn, and that's how they've become the people they have today. They weren't born into the world going, hey, I can do all this. It took time. Now another aspect, not only do you need to be open to change, but you have to be able to self-critique.
Yeah.
This is a huge aspect of successful people. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and be able to self-critique yourself. That is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people, instead of turning their attentions to themselves and figuring out the flaws and their potholes and things that they can increase on, they normally focus outwards because it's a lot easier and simpler. It's not the easy road to be successful. There is no easy road. It is difficult. And if you just want an easy life and you want to point fingers and say, well, that person's better than me, so fine, whatever, or that person's not doing it right, that's not doing it right, that's not doing it right, I'm right, you're never going to succeed. You're never going to be successful in whatever you're trying to achieve, because you need to go, oh, well, maybe my interpretation of that is wrong. Well, maybe my attempt at that was wrong. Well, maybe I didn't go about it in the right way. Maybe if I try this, that's how you'll be successful. Now, for me, I'm a very successful dater because my benchmark is creating and forging relationships, and mine is to create such an open communication with people because it's very different for men and women. My fundamental benchmark of my success is the relationships that I have with these people. Now, I haven't found the person I want to marry yet, hence why I'm still single. But if every person that I've been with, I've managed to create an open level of communication, so actually what I've come away with is a happy memory.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion of success. I have good, open relationships, strong relationships, and even if they don't work out, it's not negative. I don't have negative experiences because I've become so successful at forging friendships, relationships, things like that. And that's what I've done, and that's my level of success.
Yeah.
But in turn with that, I know the flaws that I bring to the table. So I know if I enter in a relationship, I've got a bit of a hot head. I'm trying to think of my other traits that some people don't like. Go on, give me a trait that you don't like about me.
There's not a single trait that I don't like about Annabella.
To me.
She's perfect.
I'm not perfect. Come on, there must be something. I've never asked him this question. I'm going to put you on the spot. Come on.
She's put me on the spot.
Come on, tell me something you don't like about me.
I can't.
Thank you for not admitting that there's things you don't like about me. That's very sweet of you. When I'm on street interviews, right? So we do street interviews. It's getting into winter. It's cold. If I'm cold and I'm hungry, I'm mean.
Oh, okay.
You must not like that element of me.
Now I'm remembering.
I can get quite short, I can get quite snappy if I'm cold or if I'm hungry, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation. My words can become very, very curt. That is a flaw of mine, where I should take a breath and be like, well, gentlemen, I think that I'm too cold. I'm like that. I'm cold, especially because Emre and Iain will then be flirting with women and picking them up, and I'm stood in front of the cat all the time.
That would never happen.
Obviously, we interview all these lovely ladies for street interviews, and they're just like chatting, and I'm like that, standing in the cold, freezing my poor excuse for boobs off, and that's it. Like, and I get cold and I get washy, but that is a negative trait of mine, and I'm open to admit that to anybody.
I'm interjecting, but I think everyone is different, and for sure, like, everyone has negative qualities. I think that we should all stick with our guns, and we should accept where our shortfalls are, where we're strong, and really work on the things that we're good at, and really express ourselves in what we're good at.
And that's what I will say is that I will keep doing street interviews, and I will still keep being cold, and I will keep being snappy. That is my personality trait. Now, I am not that, I would say, that curt nature, even though in some situations it's bad, and people will be like, well, I don't like that about you, that's a flaw of yours. Well, actually, in some situations, it is my best strength, because if anybody tries to, let's say during those street interviews, if anybody tries to say a cross word about the people I'm interviewing, I've had that sometimes, I've had people try and insult me, try and jump in the camera, all that curt attitude has also, it will play into my strengths of why I am so good at maybe interviewing certain people when they're being bolshy and being angry or whatever, and it plays into my favour.
Yeah.
So your self-preservation and your self-awareness will play into how successful you are. If you can identify your flaws, and not only identify them, accept them, and then even at times use them as your strengths, you will be successful. And that takes a lot of time getting to know who you are as a person.
It's not all about success, is not all about the results as well. People, we're brought up in a culture and in a society where we judge everything based on results. What did you get? What did you achieve? Yeah, but we have to be realistic, and we have to think about how much effort are you putting into to what you do. Are you actually working? Are you genuinely working at what you're doing, or are you procrastinating? Are you doing something else? So yeah, you begin to you enjoy that you enjoy that effort, and you kind of enjoy doing what you're doing, and that in itself is part of that success equation, if you know what I mean, because you eventually, don't get me wrong, when you really put in your effort into something, you do get that success. You will eventually get that success if you've taken that right advice, if you're executing it, then you will get successful. But you need to really detach yourself from scoring those goals, and from getting those results, because once you detach yourself from that, then the success will come to you. It will come to you just by nature of how the universe works. So I suppose when you are successful, when you do have those things, then you're not going to be thinking about you're not going to be wanting them so bad, so you're kind of
priority shift, and it's very interesting the psychology behind it.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of people, I guess it's kind of touching on what I said before, is that your success is your own benchmark. And when you say scoring all those goals, let's take social media for example. It's all everybody's highlight reel. When they get a new something, they've bought a new thing, they're doing this, they've got that, and they're showing off their success.
Splash it everywhere.
Which is become a societal norm, that's what happens. Now if you want to go your own way, you can. Don't worry about this chitter chatter. Don't worry about the loud noises of other people giving you, advice and telling you what your idea of success is. It needs to be your own. You have to have your own drive and your own goals and your own dreams and your own vision of what you're trying to accomplish. Because it's very, very funny. Let's take someone like Steve Jobs, who envisioned the iPhone. Now, probably when that was in the initial stages, they were like, why are you trying to do an iPhone? We've got to try and do laptops. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. And probably a lot of people's opinions and their benchmark of Steve Jobs' success would have been very different to what he actually achieved. But he broke that barrier and he persisted, and that's what he became. He became, you know, the creator of the most ingenious phone that may ever, you know, the turning point of what we now know as the mobile phone industry and the computer industry. And he did that because of his determination and his ability to battle out the voices and not give in to the goals that you say of everyone else. So you do need to have a very clear vision of what you want to accomplish. And once you've defined what you want to achieve, then head for it. Ignore all the white noise out there. Ignore what everyone else is saying. If you want to do that, go get it.
Commit to it and keep doing it. And really do enjoy it as well. Enjoy it and be happy and enjoy the experiences. You know, I personally myself, when I go out, like if I were to pinpoint a success, say in my dating, you know, it would be I don't really care about what I'm going to achieve. You know, I love being there, talking to those women.
But that's your success.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So obviously we train a lot of clients and all of that. So a lot of guys will sign up, and their idea of what they want to achieve is to, let's say, sleep with a girl, right?
Yeah.
And they come with us, and we take them out and we talk about what they want, and we put them out there and put them in situations where they grow and they learn, and they're so happy in that moment. Even if they don't on that specific night get their end goal, you then ask them afterwards, like, do you think that night was successful? Do you think that this experience has been successful? And they say yes, because they've grown and they've committed and they've enjoyed what they're doing, and they can understand that you don't have to have success instantly. You don't have to do that. You need to build strong foundations to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And each time you gain a new skill, or you create something new, or redefine, you know, identify a flaw of yours, or a trait of yours, or go through an experience that does that. Each of those is a level of a strong foundation that you build your success upon. If you just somehow get success off a whim, okay, let's use this as an example. Off a whim. So let's say I'm going to take Britney Spears as an example, right? Britney Spears, love her, was my child. I love her.
I used to love her.
She was my childhood. So she did Mickey Mouse Club, and she skyrocketed to fame, okay? And she, at that point, had a very successful career, but that was built upon everything else. Now, when she was left to her own devices, because she hadn't scoped that for herself and taken the time to maybe build up other attributes of her life on her own 2 feet, she took a tumble. We all remember, what was it?
Shaving the head.
We all remember that. That was a big thing, because she hadn't created a foundation for herself. She'd been skyrocketed to this fame, and of course she was successful, but successful is not just a moment. It is a journey, and it is a path, and you will keep increasing on your success, and it will change and mould in how it looks. But once you've got that foundation, you can steadily build upon it with more and more and more and more and more success. So the success that you originally looked for, let's say, you know, going out and meeting those people, it will morph as it goes up and evolves, and will be very different in the outcome. But you have to take the time to build that foundation for yourself, or otherwise you will trip, you will fall, you will stumble, and you might shave all your hair off. So you want to create that foundation and take that time. Don't rush. That is a huge thing that successful people will know. They don't rush. They don't want success tomorrow, because if you have success tomorrow, it might be gone the day after. So you want to create a long-lasting, substantial success. So then, to put it back in regards to dating with you, you know that just if you have this one night, this one moment, this one girl, you know that success isn't necessarily is going to ricochet onto tomorrow. But what you have done is create skill sets and broadened your horizons in how you communicate and socialise, so that your success is ever building.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
His social talent is ever building. But and that's what you need to know. You just need to be patient.
Yeah. Yeah, be patient, be slow about it. Well, take, as in like not slow, but take your time. And also, you need to visualize that success as well. You know, a thing that I used to do a long time ago was I used to go to sleep, you know, and the last thing that I would imagine would be what I wanted, you know, what I wanted, where I wanted to be. And you'd be surprised as to how far that can get you.
The power of a mindset.
Yeah.
Is another attribute that successful people have, is a powerful mindset.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you don't need to be visualizing all day, right?
Sitting at your desk and visualizing. I mean, you've got other things to do, but if you know, like you said, and some people, and it's funny, some people will think that is really silly. Because I did a lot of things as well. It's in one of my ebooks, we talk a lot about self-affirmation. So you can look yourself in the mirror to build your confidence essentially, but it can be applied to being successful. Look in the mirror and you tell yourself something every single day. One day you will believe it. And you won't have to keep telling yourself that, because you've trained yourself to know that it's a thing. So for example, if you struggle with your confidence, let's say, and you don't see what you have to offer, you find something that you have to offer. Let's say I have good communication skills. You tell yourself that every single day. You then start walking out into the world knowing what you're good for.
Becomes a reality.
And it becomes a reality. And your communication skills then do start to be fantastic. And that is what you then adopt into who you are. But that took training. Successful people aren't born into success. They make that success for themselves. And so even if it sounds ridiculous, imagining what you want to achieve every night before you close your eyes to go to sleep, that's what it takes. You do that, because it will help. It will help you visualize and drive you in the right direction. Again, I mean, I'll just say about physical fitness. My biggest thing that I have issues with my clients is the motivation to get out of bed and go to the gym in the morning. But if the first thing that you think of, or the last thing you thought of at night, is that body goal that you want, and you think about it, and then when you wake up in the morning, that's what you go for. Because you've taught yourself that mental mindset. And when you can do that, you are on the road to being successful in whatever field or aspect of life that you want to be successful in.
Yeah, be it business or dating.
Business, dating, fitness, social life, anything.
Anything, yeah. And in terms of that business, you know, another important kind of thing there is to be able to work in teams. So teamwork, because you'll meet people along the way which you probably, you know, you won't get along with. They won't be your best mates, you know. In reality, I didn't see that. Yeah, but you know, a lot of people won't be your best mates, you know. So you're gonna have to live with that fact, and you're gonna have to just work with them, and both get the best out of each other, you know. So definitely. Being successful in business, even in a social circle, the same will apply, because you might know someone who works at a club, or someone who works somewhere who'll get you into that club, and you need to you know,
foster those relationships,
befriend them.
Essentially, success isn't selfish; it's shared. If you have to, let's say, work in a team at work, and you don't like this person. But if you try and take all the success for yourself and try and do it on a very solo level, you know, a very selfish face, you won't be successful, because you are eliminating something that could be an attribute to you, or even if you don't like them, they still will have qualities. So you need to be able to understand how, even if you don't like somebody, how they can benefit you. It's not to take advantage of people, but as you walk through life, people will teach you new things, and everybody that comes into play. When you mention business, that's a huge thing. Connections are huge aspect of being successful. Connections that you make when you forge those relationships, that's based on good communication skills that we can teach you at Kamalifestyles. But when you have those good communication skills and you can see the attributes that other people have, you can learn to morph and help and go the journey with somebody, even if they're not your best friend, and they will contribute to your success.
Yeah. Yeah, so always follow your passions, you know, always follow, do what you love to do, and
find your passion.
Exactly, find your passions first.
Find your passion first, and then go for it.
Yeah, because that will, you know, really have a think about what it is that you love doing, and really maximize those areas. If you like to socialize, or if you like to speak, if you like public speaking, then by all means do it. Or if you like sales or anything like that, we always excel in what we're passionate about, and we put in, we will produce something better when we're passionate about something. And of course, look, I understand that everyone has a different situation. So some people are not as, we're not as fortunate to be able to follow our passions, because we might have a bit
financial
of
baggage, family baggage,
baggage to deal with.
You might want to be a movie star. That doesn't happen, a lot. It's tough to create some goals and aspirations. By all means, I do think the realistic expectations is always good, but you should never put yourself in a box.
No.
There are people that have done spectacular things in this world that no one ever expected. There is no reason why that person can't be you. Now, you may have 15,000 more hurdles to get over than the person next to you with the same goal. Doesn't mean that you won't achieve it. Determination will get you to where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, in particular, if you're physically healthy, I don't think that there's anything that should limit you, in this day and age, because we've got so many more options there. We've got so many more resources now with the internet, with technology, that there really shouldn't be anything that can limit you, because a lot of the advice, is online.
It's available.
Yeah, it's available. So you
subscribe to it.
Yes, exactly. No, yeah. So you can, it's just really up to you, because it's different now if you had a serious condition or a condition with your health, that might be an obstacle. But even for some, for some driven people, they still defy all odds. They still.
And that's a great thing to, a lot of people say, well, I can't be successful because of this, this, and this. Making excuses will never work for you. If you make excuses, you will not be successful. So to take up what you were saying, think of all the Paralympians out there.
Yeah.
So whatever hurdle you think you are facing, somebody out there is facing a bigger one. So you need to look at your hurdles head on, dead in the eye, and go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and take pride in the challenge. There's always a challenge in everything in life, and just take pride in it and enjoy it. And it's something that you can work towards. If it's always, I mean, everything is so relative. Everything is difficult, but keep at it, keep working towards it.
Keep slogging it. Consistency is key. If you keep going for it,
yeah,
no matter how long it takes, you will get there. And even if you do not get to your end goal of what you deem successful, what you need to remember is the small wins. Because that journey that you've taken to get to where you want to be successful, you have achieved so much on the way. So make sure you are really giving yourself credit for what you've achieved, because not only is it leading in the right direction, but it's going to spur you on. And again, like I touched on, it's going to cement that foundation of what you're building this success upon. Building this entire building, and then you get to your success at the top.
Yeah.
And that is what you want to aim at. So every single step in the right direction is a little win. Pat yourself on the back, be consistent, go for it, attack it every single day. Even if you can't get to it every single day, have that mental thought every single day. Every single day, have that mental thought. Be consistent, be passionate, be driven. And that is what makes up a successful person.
Yes, and have the faith. Always.
Because you gotta have faith. Yes.
Yeah, keep the faith, because you are stepping into the unknown. Sometimes when you're doing things, when you're racing or competing, or even when you're trying to develop something, you are really stepping into the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So really do keep that faith and really kind of be open-minded and believe that something is possible. Something will happen, and always keep believing it.
There is a fantastic quote that I can't remember for the life of me. I will find this video for you, and I will get the link. It was Who's the American guy that does Family Fortunes in America? Steve. I forgot his name. You can all comment in the bottom. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. He had this fantastic quote, and I will find it for you. It's all about jumping off a cliff and flying. And you don't know if you can fly until you take that jump. And the way that he says it, it's like poetry.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Steve Harvey, you're amazing. And that's what it was. And I will find it for you. It's great. And it's that if you take that risk and you keep the faith, that even when you jump off that cliff, have faith that you will fly. Yeah, you might fall for a while and it might be scary, but have faith that you will fly. And only once you take that leap will you know if you can. And so you can live on the side of that mountain if you want to live. He said it so much better than this. I'm like, you live on the side of the mountain, build a hut, whatever. But if that's what you want to do, then you will never know if you can fly. You have to take that risk.
Yeah, you need to try, yeah.
Have to take that jump. You need to try. Okay, so I think we have summarised what it takes to be successful.
I think we have, yeah.
Determination, consistency, perseverance, open-mindedness. What else have we talked about?
Keeping the faith.
Keeping the faith, the faith, the faith.
You gotta have faith.
Faith, yeah. All of those things. I think that you should save this to your watch list. Watch it every day. Keep coming back to us. Keep watching this video because it's gonna keep reminding you of what you need to do, because you can get lost in life. Life is very, very hectic and you can get distracted. And if you need that help to retune back into what you're trying to gauge and what you're trying to achieve, videos like this can really help. Because oh yeah, maybe I've lost sight of my determination. Maybe I need to think of it every night before I go to bed. You will learn new things, and this will keep the fire going to get you on the road to success. So subscribe, notifications, watch list, like, share, comment, subscribe. Do let us know what you think of this video, because I'd love to know what you think. If any of these points help you, if there's anything that you want to add that you think, oh yeah, this has helped me become successful, drop it in the comment box. We want to hear from you. Let us know.
And guys, tell us what you think about successful people. What is it that makes someone successful in any sort of field or even in dating? Tell us about your experiences and tell us about your insights.
And tell us how you want to be successful in dating, because that is what we're here for. We're here to help you get that success.
Exactly.
So if you have a goal and you want to achieve it in dating, let us know. Drop us an email. You can find us at www.kamalifestyles.com. On there, not only are we here to help, you can get in contact with us, but we've got products, we've got ebooks, we've got services, all to help you realise what your success is and make it happen.
Yeah, click on the link in the video's description right down below. And guys, there will be many, many more videos from us, from the Kama Gang, from myself, from ABR.
What?
And from Ebre as well. So definitely do stay tuned. There'll be much more coming your way. And today you were joined by Annabella and myself, Ian, and we shall see you next time.
Bye.